guys, and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see in front of me, I have some dot card samples. So I went ahead and purchased the 238 dot card from Daniel Smith. So I think this is nearly their entire range. I don't believe this includes the new grey colours that they've recently brought out, but this should include nearly all of the colours. And I got this because I thought it was a really good idea and a good way to try out all of their colours. I'm going to be swatching it in live time, so it's going to be quite a long video. I'm going to split it up into several parts. So in this one, I'm going to do the yellows, in the next the reds, and so on and so forth. But you're going to see and hear my reaction to the colours as I paint them, really. I've not really tried too many of the Daniel Smith range. I think I've tried about 15 to 20 colours. Considering they have 238, that's not very many. I have got some tubes of it, and I've got a bit more than that actually, because I've got some tubes with about 15 tubes, and then I've also done a dot card of this one as well. So we're going to have a look at those, and we're going to look at the 238 one. It's the one that I did previously, and I did a video on it. I will link that somewhere if you wanted to find it. But we will get started. So yeah, it's kind of live action, so you're going to hear all the mistakes and whatnot. So this is some cold pressed watercolour paper. It's Bockingford, so it is cellulose paper, but it's very good cellulose watercolour paper. And hopefully we're going to be able to get enough paint to do a full square. They're not very big dots, bigger than the Schminker, but they're not huge. So go ahead and unwrap this. So here they are. I'm not going to count them, but I'm pretty sure. So yeah, there's some blues on this one. Some of them are very hardly any colour at all. Some of them are going to be a bit tricky to do, I think. They seem to kind of like be less generous with these dots than the ones on the 60 colour one. Bit disappointing. Why are they sticking? No, they're all dry. They're not sticking, so they're all dry to the touch. None of them are sticky or goopy. God, some of these are really going to be tough. So I think these are the Primatech ones coming up, and the Duochrome. So how many pages are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 pages? It doesn't seem very many. I thought there would be more. There's like, yeah, 4 pages. I think there's like 60 colours on the sheet. So put those to one side, and I'm going to zoom in so you can get a better look. But I'm going to start. There we go, so you've got a nice zoomed in look there. So let's just bring that down to the first square and the first colour. Hang on, I've got a bit of water. Underneath the glass. Don't want the pages get wet. Right, so let's start then. Get a brush, and let's start. Oh, this is casting a bit of a shadow. It's not really what I'm going to do there. Ah, there we go. Right, so is that in shot? Yep. This is all the stuff you don't normally hear because normally I edit all this out and have the magic of editing. So let's get started. So the first colour is Buff Titanium. Too much of a dot. I will admit I've done dot cards before, tried dot cards, and I've made them. They are a bit more sort of firm on paper. The paper sucks more of the moisture out of the paint. So it might be a bit difficult to rework. I mean, luckily Daniel Smith paints are quite concentrated, so even a little bit you can get quite a good colour from. So I'm going to do it as I always normally do with sort of swatching. I'm going to put quite a concentrated amount of paint at the top of the square, and then I'm going to just blend the rest of that colour out with clear water so you can see how it's going to flow, if it flows. I mean, we have started with a bit of a not very exciting colour. A lot of people do like buff titanium, and I've made my own buff titanium, and it is a useful colour, but it's nothing exciting. Right, so yellows, I've just kind of done this in a zigzaggy order, so we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to skip a square to stop any backruns and bleeding. So the next colour is Nickel Titanate-Yellow. Now this dot card doesn't have any pigment information on it, it just has some numbers, so not really the pigment info. It does say if it's the light fastness of it, if it granulates, and the series, and if it's transparent or opaque. I will try and find the pigment numbers and write these on afterwards probably. So this one, Nickel Titanate-Yellow. I think this is a very cool yellow, the coldest yellow you can get. I haven't actually tried it because it's quite opaque and a bit milky looking. Yeah, it's not the most intense colour. That's why I don't tend to use it. Like lemon yellow is a lot more intense than this. I'm struggling to get some paint off. It's not a hugely concentrated this colour. Like that buff titanium went even further than what this is. I'm really having to get quite a lot of the paint off just to get a decent amount of colour. So I'm going to try, I'm not going to go right to the bottom of the square. For some reason these colours don't seem to want to flow today. Usually there's not a problem with Daniel Smith, but apparently with these there is. So next up we have Bismuth Vanadate-Yellow. I do apologise if I mispronounce any. I may be English, but my pronunciation is not always good. So this one's a bit stronger. I'm getting more colour off this, which is good. I'm actually going to see a proper colour. And this one too is a really cool yellow. It's very cold. Excellent for mixing really bright, vivid greens, which I do quite a lot. That's a very good, very nice colour. I like that. I like this colour quite a lot. Oh, on first swatching anyway. I don't know what it's going to be like once it's dried. And there's some flow to it. So we found a good colour, a nice colour. Okay, so that's still a bit damp, so I'm not going to touch it. And let's go for Hansa Yellow Light for the next colour. So yeah, that one there, that's in on the screen. Let's have a look. This is hardly anything here. So this is going to be very difficult to... Oh, actually, there's still quite a bit of colour coming off of it. Again, a very nice cold yellow. I think this might be a tiny bit colder than the Bismuth Yellow, on first glance anyway. Might dry down a bit different, but... Again, flow is okay, nothing to write home about. It's a very nice yellow. Very bright. So next up, Azo Yellow. I think this is PY150. It's a popular one. A lot of people like this one and use it. I use it as well in formulations, so I think it's PY150. Maybe I'm wrong. It doesn't look very warm and rusty for a PY150. I might be wrong about this pigment actually. Yeah, that's not PY150. I think off the top of my head, this one might be PY154. The reason I got it wrong is most paints that are called Azo Yellow are PY150 because it's nickel Azo Yellow. So that's a really nice colour. It's definitely getting more towards the mid yellows now. So again, if I start and do alternating, so the next colour I'm going to do is Cadmium Yellow Light Hue. I'm not really sure why they're doing a hue. I know a lot of people are moving away from cadmium colours now. Even Winsor & Newton are finally shifting stick and bringing out hues rather than using the normal one, the PR108, but they still do make it. But Daniel Smith apparently don't. I'm not sure why. So we want Cadmium Yellow Light Hue. Cadmium Yellow Light does tend to be a cool to mid yellow. It's definitely a cool one. Oh, you can't even see it. There we go. So yeah, it's definitely more on the cool side. It's really nice. It looks like a normal cadmium yellow from what I've tried of them. Make sure there's plenty of paint. Quite a nice flow to it. So yeah, it's a nice, really nice one. Right. The next colour is going to be Cadmium Yellow Medium Hue. So this is the next one up, and it should be a mid-tone between Cadmium Yellow Light and Cadmium Yellow Deep. So this would definitely be more of a mid-yellow. And the dot does look like it's kind of a middle tone. And yeah, that is definitely a little bit warmer than the Cad Yellow Light Hue. Again, they're all hues, so they should be cadmium free, I would imagine. I will look up the pigment information and put that on here at some point before I upload like the swatch card to Patreon. So let's put plenty of paint, see how it's going to flow. And that's probably why they're not flowing enough. I'm not making it wet enough. And try not to flood the actual dot, because it's all just going to dissolve all the colour. And I don't want to lose it if I want to use these dots again, which I could do. I don't want to lose all the paint. So that is the thing, if you are buying the $238 dot card, you can obviously paint something with it. They may be small dots, but there are lots of yellows on here and lots of other, not just yellows, but with other colours. There are similar hues between them. So you can see like the Bismuth Yellow and the Hansa Yellow, you could interchange it. It doesn't need to be 100% of that colour if you're wanting to mix with it. If that makes sense. So Auroralin next, and I believe this is the genuine Auroralin, so it's not light fast. And it's PY40, I think, off the top of my head. Genuine Auroralin. Apparently it's really, really fugitive. It fades really quickly. I mean, it's nice, cool. Yeah, wow, is it cool? I always struggle with cool and warms. I think they're quite subjective. some colours look cooler than others, some look warmer, and it's just, yeah. When we get to the blues, that's really confusing then. This one is not a very generous dot, I will add. A bit disappointing. It's a nice transparent yellow. I can see why people like it. I'm really liking this Cadmium Yellow medium hue. It's very strong, very concentrated. So I'm gonna do, yeah, I'm gonna go in the same order and then I'm gonna go back over, I think, might be the best way to do it. So the next colour is gonna be Lemon Yellow. So this one's gonna be a real test because I love Lemon Yellow. It's PY free. I know off the top of my head, it's my favourite cool yellow, my favourite yellow to use ever. So I know this is going to be a good yellow. So this is it. It should be quite strong and concentrated. I should be able to get a good cut off of this one, but we shall see. Struggling to reactivate a little bit, and yeah, it is very cool, very cold. Not quite as cool as the nickel titanate yellow, but then it's going to be a stronger hue. It's going to be stronger in colour, and it's a really nice strength. Do I like it compared to my other ones? It's okay. I don't know if it's because it's from a dot that I'm not really getting full paint effect, maybe, but I definitely prefer this colour from other brands. I've got it in from Old Holland. That's my sort of normal brand, the go-to brand for this colour. And their one, Swatchathon Yellow Lemon, is my favourite lemon yellow. The Graham one, which I also have, is also a very nice one. And the Casa one, surprisingly, is really nice. So a lot of people avoid this one. I don't know why. I think because it's quite cool and it can be opaque. I don't think people sometimes like that. Okay, so the next colour is going to be an orange. So I'm going to do the yellows and oranges together. And then the bottom line is reds. I'm going to save that for the next video. So the next one is Aussie Red Gold. I think this is a convenience mix, I think. If I remember correctly, it's got 3 pigments in it. So Aussie Red Gold is somewhere, it's here. Yeah, I think this is a bit like, oh, it's quite a nice orange actually. Oh, I really like this one. I mean, I don't really paint with a lot of oranges. The closest I have that I normally paint with is an earth orange, so I really don't paint with oranges very much at all. They're just really easy to mix, so I just tend to mix my own. I do have orange paint, but because I don't really paint a lot of orange subjects, I know orange is quite useful in skin tones, but I don't paint a lot of skin at the minute. And I've not painted a lot of orange flowers. So this is definitely a staining pigment. It's staying in the brush. But that's beautiful, look at that. See, this is where it gets dangerous when buying the dot cards, because you can find colours that you want to then go out and buy. And I don't really don't need any more colours. I've got loads. So the next orange is Permanent Orange. I think this one's opaque by the feel of it. It's quite creamy. Creamy colours tend to be more opaque. Oh, and you can't even see it. There it is. Oh no, apparently this is transparent even, according to this dot card. I thought it might have been opaque because of its creaminess, but No, yeah, I think it is transparent, yeah. I've just gone over a bit of the line, and I can still see the line underneath. Really good flow to that one. So the next one is a Quinacridone Orange. I've not heard of this one before. I've not seen it anywhere, nor have I tried it. Let me just check, make sure I've not actually tried it on the other one. But nope, this is a new colour. So let's try it. There's quite a good dot colour, this one. Good dot. It's not too stingy. Oh, that's a nice one as well. I do quite like orange watercolours, as in from the tube. This has got a nice pinky red undertone to it. It's beautiful. Oranges always have a really good flow to them, so I know for a while this is gonna, yeah, flow. It washes out to almost this pink underneath it. It's nearly pink. It's a soft corally pink, almost salmon in colour. So next up we have a Mayan Orange, or Mayan Orange, however you want to pronounce it. I'm always a bit dubious with Mayan colours because most people don't tell you what's in it. They try and make it mysterious and mystical. So most people don't even tell you what's in it. Even other brands I've tried that have a Mayan colour, they don't tell you what's in it. Where is the Mayan Orange? I don't know where it is. Maybe somewhere on here. I've seen it. I know I have. They have a Mayan Orange, but I don't know where it is. Oh, it's there, right in front of me. It looks red. So this one might be a bit of a red pigment, and it looks like it is. It's a very. It's nearly red. In fact, it is red. I don't know why they've called it orange. There's nothing orange about this whatsoever. That is something I really don't like about paint. If you call your paint orange, red, blue, it should be reflective of that colour. I think Sennelier have a colour, I can't remember what they call it. It's something like pink brown or something like that, or brown green, pink or brown green, I don't know. Pink green, it's something like something weird. The two colours that don't like, it's a colour that doesn't really work in like when you say it. But even washed out, it's not orange. That's not an orange colour, that's red. So I'm not really impressed. It is a really nice red, but I'm not impressed with the colour name. And as well, it won't have any pigment information because, yeah, they're very secretive. So back up to the top now because we're back to the yellows. I don't want to go to the reds just yet. So the next colour is Hansa Yellow Medium. So let's do these. Most people go for Hansa Yellows as a replacement to the Cadmiums because they're light fast and they're very nice, and you can get the full tone range. So like you can get the light, the medium and the deep or dark. And that's a very nice Hansa Yellow. It is a medium yellow, just about. It's not quite as warm as the Cad Red medium though. So do keep that in mind, it's not a direct replacement. The Cambium Yellow medium is more orangey. That's a really nice colour. It's transparent as well, so that's one thing. The cadmiums are more opaque. These are definitely more transparent than the Hansa Yellows. So another Mayan colour up next. We have Mayan Yellow, Mayan Yellow, Mayan Yellow. Potato, patata. Right. This isn't a very generous dot, so I'm not sure what we're going to get out of it. And I'm not sure what makes this colour any different from any other yellow. The dot card looks like another Hansa Yellow, if I'm being honest. It's not a very strong yellow. It's a bit like, it reminds me a bit of the nickel titanate yellow and the Adeline. It's not super strong, not really intense. It's a very soft colour, which is great if you want a soft yellow. If I can get some colour off the paper. So let's blend that back out with some water. It's not going to stretch very far, but not a lot of flow to it either. But yeah. So the next colour that we're going to be looking at is Naples Yellow. Naples Yellow is usually a pigment that has a yellow and a white pigment in it. From like commercial and modern colours of it. You can get Naples Yellow genuine, which is like an old colour. I don't think it's light fast. I don't think that's why I stopped making it. I started to use a Hume, I think, from the top of my head. But this is kind of like a skin tone colour, but it's opaque. Some people use it for skin, particularly if you're like into anime or manga kind of illustration, that people often use this colour for their skin tone. Some brands also offer variants on this, so you can get like Naples Yellow reddish, Naples Yellow extra reddish. I think Schminke offer. And I did do the Schminke dot card, their entire collection, and I think I've got that somewhere up. I'll leave that up in the iCards somewhere if you're watching and want to check that out. It's okay Naples Yellow. I think I prefer the Schminke one. It's a bit more intense. Next one is Indian Yellow. I think this used to be their PY153 until it was discontinued. And I think now they're using PY150. It definitely looks like it. Oh, this is a nice one. I like PY150s. It tends to be my warm yellow or Quinacridone Gold hue it is, which contains PY150, so same kind of colour. Not a whole lot of it on the dot card. It's not very rusty, this one. It's quite clean and quite... It's not as warm as what I was expecting compared to some other colours. Well, other brands of this colour even. You can tell that this is sort of done in real time. I'm all over the place. A bit like I am in a live stream. I mean, it's a nice Indian yellow. No complaints about it. But I won't be switching from my Queen Gold hue or my M-Gram Azo Yellow. So next up we have Hansa Yellow Deep. So the last of the Hansa colours, when I can find it. It's so this is almost orange. The deeps of the Hansa Yellows and Cadmiums tend to be quite orange. Well, nearly orange. It's not quite an orange, but we're not far off. But yeah, these are struggling to reactivate, some of them. I have to scrub them quite a bit. I think it's more because they're dried on the dot card rather than from a tube or from a pan. I don't personally buy a lot of the Daniel Smith normal colours like these because they're quite expensive in the UK compared to brands such as Schminke, Sennelier, for example, which tend to be cheaper. So I tend to go for those brands rather than Daniel Smith. So the next colour is New Gamboge. I don't think I've ever heard of a colour that's had more drama and controversy behind it than New Gamboge. From the original one made of cow urine and to the modern PY153s and now the Hues. This colour's changed quite a lot over quite a short amount of time compared to some of them. This is a really nice colour. I approve of this hue. See, they don't put hue behind it, so I'm questioning if this is... Same with the Indian Yellow. I wonder if it's with the old formula. I know the old dark colour I got, the 66 colour one, had the old Quin Gold on it, old Quin Gold formula, the PO49. I'm going to look forward and see if it's the same with this one, if it has the old Quin Gold on it. It probably doesn't, but I'll have a look if I can find. That's a really nice golden yellow colour. Let's have a look. Where would Quin Gold be? I think it's... They also did a sap green with it. That probably isn't any different. Oh. Quin Gold, where are you? It's probably looking at me right in the face and I can't see it. Blue, blue, green. No, I don't want green. It should be here. Yeah, Quinacridone Gold. I see it. I think it might be the new one. We'll soon find out when we get there. Right, so the next colour is, I'm going to butcher this name, but Adeline Yellow. I've seen a couple of brands have this yellow, and I've never really used it, painted with it, or tried it very much. It's a warm yellow. I think this is a bit more transparent than some. Oh no, it's semi-opaque, semi-transparent, semi-opaque. It's quite orangey. It's really nice actually. Good flow to it. It's quite a nice colour. Nothing wrong with it. So the next colour we're going to look at is the Perm Yellow Deep. Just here, it's not a giant dot either, so let's see what we got. Strangely, they have a permanent yellow deep. They don't have a permanent yellow light or medium. So I'm not sure why they call it yellow deep. I know quite a few brands have a yellow deep, but they also have the other two, so I'm not really sure why Daniel Smith don't. Again, it's an orangey yellow, so it's not too dissimilar from the other yellows. That's the thing when looking at these dot cards and looking at brands ranges, you can often have a feeling of, oh, I need to get all of them, but you really don't need all of the colours. Like, they're really interchangeable, like the New Gamboge, the Iceland Yellow, the Hansa Yellow Deep, and the Perm Yellow Deep. They're all really similar. You can just get one. You don't need all four. In general, and on a palette, you don't need all four. Definitely not. Oh, I'm knocking the camera. Right, so we're on to our final yellow, which is Cadmium Yellow Deep Hue. This one reactivates quite nicely. And yeah, that's definitely a Cadmium Yellow deep. I think I've seen more orange deep hues, and Cadmium Yellow deeps even. But this is another really nice creamy warm yellow. So let's blend this out. Good flow to it. So next up we're on to some more of the oranges, and we have Pyro Orange next. I think I've tried this from another brand before. It's a very nice orange, very strong. I think it's, yeah, semi-opaque, semi-transparent. This one was quite a generous dot, and again it's quite pinky in the way it looks. It is almost a red. But that's a really nice orange, I do. Oh, that's really nice. But yeah, again, it's borderline red. It's not as red as the Mayan orange. This is, at least this one is orange and not red. When we look at the Mayan orange now, it's definitely red. It has got a slight orangeness to the wash under here, but it's definitely red. There's no doubt about it. Whereas this one, it's definitely orange. So next up we have Cadmium Orange hue. Yes, you can get Cadmium Orange, and I think a lot of people kind of don't realise it or tend to ignore it. And this is definitely a carrot orange. It reminds me of carrots looking at this one. Oh. See, even the cadmium colours, they don't say that they are opaque, they just say they're semi-opaque slash semi-transparent. And I will agree with it. I mean, cadmiums, everyone says about how opaque they are, but the ones I've tried, they're not too opaque, they're like semi-opaque, but there is some transparency to it, particularly if you add plenty of water. Right, so the next colour is quite famous, I think, or quite talked about. It's the transparent Pyro Orange, I believe. Let's have a look. Where's it gone? The dot. Yeah, transparent Pyro Orange. I think this one is a competition with the core one. I know that a lot of people either love or hate core, and a lot of people don't like it because of the flow to it. It's a very flowy paint. It's very active in water. And it's very bright and quite expensive, but I think people do tend to go for the core transparent Pyro Orange over any other brand because it is so transparent and so nice. I've never tried a transparent Pyro Orange. I think I might have tried it from Schminker if they offer it in their dark card. This is a nice orange. It's a nice rusty red orange. It's not creamy and opaque like the Pyro Orange, for example. This is definitely transparent, as I would expect being a transparent Pyro Orange. It sounds almost stupid, doesn't it, saying it out loud? Yeah, it's a very nice colour. It reminds me a little bit of a more orange, more yellow version of PO48, so Quinacridone Gold, I think they call it, Daniel Smith. It is a really nice orange. I don't think I'm going to be running out and buying it, but it is a really nice one. And I think that's actually brought us to the end of our colour swatching actually. The next line are reds, which I'm going to save for the next video and do a red video. And by the looks of a pink video as well. Red and pink. Yeah, I think so. It's going to be red and pink. So yeah, so this is the first video. I'm going to zoom out so you guys can see it a bit better. Hang on. Let's fix those settings, make sure you can see it. There we go. So that's all of the colours. They're all pretty much dry now, apart from that last one is still wet, but the rest of them are pretty much dry. So looking at these, they are really nice yellows, and you can see why people like Daniel Smith. The ones that particularly stand out to me are the Aussie Red Gold. Both the transparent Pyro, both the Pyro Oranges, the transparent one and the non-transparent one, they both look really nice. The Mayan Orange, even though it's red technically, is still really nice and interesting. I'm definitely going to be looking up pigment information of all of these, and I'm going to try and add them on before I scan it in, and I'll probably go back to this page after I've done the rest of them so you guys can see the pigment information. But yeah, they're all really nice colours. I can't really fault them. But there's none here, apart from maybe those 2-3 that I mentioned that I'm going to run out and buy. I prefer the yellows I have in other brands, being completely honest. There's nothing wrong with these, I'm not knocking them, but I definitely prefer other brands, I think. But yeah, so this is the yellows and the oranges. If you want to make sure you don't miss out on the next page and the future pages, please hit that subscribe button and consider leaving this a thumbs up. It really does help the channel, and if you've got any thoughts on these, if there's any colours you like, please leave a comment down below. I'm really looking forward to hearing people's thoughts on these. So take care everybody, and I'll see you in the next page.